I really think that we need to work on diversifying the teacher pipeline. You know, Nevada educators have to look like the demographics that serve Nevada. And I'm very fortunate to work at a school that does have a diverse amount of educators. There's several other educators of color, which is so important for our students. But that's not the reality in most schools, and that's not the reality in Southern Nevada either. And that's something that has to change in the pipeline. We have to ensure that we are providing tools to encourage and motivate our students in Southern Nevada to become educators. And then we want them to stay in Nevada. And so we really have to incentivize our students to pursue a degree so that they can become an educator. And that means that we have to change what we're doing in K-12 education as well. We have to expand CTE programs in teaching. And I know we talk a lot about the importance of STEM and those programs, but we also have to expand the teaching CTE program so that we can diversify what the teaching population looks like. We know right now that teachers of color are significantly underrepresented. Nonetheless, we are serving one of the largest districts with a large community of color. And so it's really important to me that we diversify what teachers look like, what administrators look like, and what school personnel in general look like, so that students can see themselves reflected in the classroom. And to, I think, my colleague's point, so that they can recognize that I too could become that. As a Latina teacher, I can say that I know that my students have had the privilege to see that in the classroom. And it's so beautiful for me to see that in their eyes, but every child should get to see that, not just the ones in my class.
When Mexicans and other immigrants come to this country, they create enclaves. They don't get along with blacks either. There's always this tension of, do we have enough representation? You approve of increased Hispanic power. You have said we are 17% of the population, but we have only 3 senators. Who's we? We as Hispanics.
Latinos, yeah.
Latinos. You want more power for Latinos. That comes at the expense of my people's power. Why do you want to take away my power?
Folks like me who were Caucasian of European descent, for the first time in 2017, will be in an absolute minority.
And it puts a real challenge on groups like the Culinary Union and everyone else invested in mobilizing and organizing in the Latino community.
I think that anyone who is in a situation where they're in need of health care, regardless of whether they're documented or undocumented, we have an obligation to see that they're cared for. That's why I think we need more clinics around the country.
This is obviously not a new issue, right? In my growing up, I think I had maybe only 2 Latina teachers, and I went to schools in predominantly Latino community. And so I know that this is an issue that our districts and the state of Nevada has been looking at over the number of years. And some programs have come and then they've disappeared or dissipated or turned into other programs. Right now, some of the excellent programs that I know and collaborations that I know are being done specifically in Southern Nevada, I think, is the relationship between Nevada State College and the Clark County School District. I know that there's been a number of efforts to really diversify that pipeline, and they've been helping through a program. They've been helping get high school students involved and getting them the college credits too, so that they can then pursue a degree in education. They start getting the college credits as high school students, and then get the opportunity to then transfer over to the college upon high school graduation. I think we need to look at programs like that and find ways that we can expand them. And I really think that that's going to help us diversify that pool. So really just ensuring that we can get the students that we have here that are amazing and talented, and helping those students get interested in a degree of education. I think once they have those credits, once they've had the opportunity to start some of those classes, and I know my mom actually runs a teacher in training class. She's been doing it for a number of years. And once she talks to students about teaching and training, and they go home and they try some of those strategies, even with their 5 or 6-year-old brother or sister at home, and teaching them using the different strategies that they're learning, oftentimes the kids are hooked. And, as an educator, I don't know how you couldn't be hooked on teaching. So I really think, if we can get more kids around it and teach them the tools and the strategies that teachers are using, you're really going to get that buy-in and just giving them that hands-on experience, if you will, with education.
Can you say hello to Cyrus, please? Excuse me, sir. American citizens first.
and reach out to elected officials. I think that most of us, like my colleagues have mentioned, we will answer. You can give us a call, shoot us an email, and we want to meet with our community members. We want to meet with the constituents that we serve, and we want to connect you.
I engage in speech. And yes, it's part of the long Anglo-Saxon tradition of thinking that free speech and the contest of ideas, the truth will emerge. It goes back to John Stuart Mill.
Well, I think the people that are standing here will agree with me
attributes of a place like America
some of the things that you've been saying and continue to say and spewing hate speech.
Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything you can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
Change laws. How easy is it to change a law in New York State? I don't know. But when you're the largest employer and the largest taxpayer in the state of Nevada, we can get laws changed pretty quickly. And we regularly do it.